Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we're revealing the Kickstarter, The Zone, brought to you by Raf D'Amico. The Zone, surreal play-to-lose horror RPG. Now, I didn't back this when this was on Kickstarter, but I saw this on Facebook, whatever, marketplace, and basically I saw it and it was very intriguing to me. It seemed like it was an RPG that was nothing like any other RPG I had ever played before. So I said, someone was selling for like 25 bucks, and I was like, you know what? And like 10 bucks shipping. I said, let me pick this up because it looks really, really interesting. And so I picked it up. Like I said, I didn't back it when it was on Kickstarter. I love the cover artwork, and when I looked at the title and it said "Play to Lose, a horror RPG," I said, you know, what is this game all about? So let's take a look at this in the back here. If you scan that, I'll give you a 15-second overview, or go to thezonerpg.com for more information. The game is to be played in the dark. So, goal of the game: mutate your friends. The Zone is a tabletop RPG or role-playing game about a doomed expedition into a mysterious quarantine zone, whose center will grant one survivor their deepest wish. With 248 cards, easy-to-learn rules, and no need for a game master, The Zone is the perfect way to spend an evening telling a deeply immersive and spooky tale of hubris and mutation in the dark. And that's hubris. Sorry about that. Again, in the game, you have 24 unique characters. You need zero preparation. Everything is prepared for you. It's a card-based storytelling system. Again, it takes 2 to 4 hours to play. 1 to 6 players, ages 17 and up. More information, go to thezonerpg.com. Everything that's included. And this came out in 2023. And it's a small box, not a huge box, but it's heavy. Really, really heavy. I gotta tell you that. You pick this up, you're like, eh. So there you go. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness is in the side. So now right off the bat, you notice that there are three books here. There's a manual, operation manual. There's the book of twists, and you have the book of mutation. Let's take a look at these one by one. So you got the operation manual. Okay, so there's your setup. Again, I'm not going to read all of this, but we could take a look through this, see if we can get information out of this. Movie references: to take stock, mutate, something's not right, claim the fate, not so easy, to meet my fate. Always remember, play to lose, atmospheric silence, yes, and players over the game always. So let's take a look what this thing says. Move reference: add detail to a scene, take stock. Say, take stock. Every player now adds a sensory detail about the scene: sight, sound, touch, smell, taste, or internal feelings. When everyone has spoken, return to the collaborative storytelling. It's good to start and end scenes with a take stock. Escalate things. Something's not right. Say, something's not right, and describe what you think might be wrong. Another player says, it's worse than that, and describes how. The player who triggered the move incorporates the escalation in storytelling continues. To resolve obstacles: not so easy. When someone describes their character doing something that seems too hard for them, interrupt and say, that's not so easy. The player trying to do their hard thing restates their desired outcome, then draws a not so easy card to determine if it happens. They then weave this outcome and any complications or mutations into the story, and play continues. So it says to change your character: mutate. Mutation is only triggered by not so easy cards and is never lethal. Only a fate card can kill. Each player controls and can veto mutations to their character. Try to mutate in ways that relate to obsessions and phobias. Ideas: change to your appearance, the way you communicate, your psyche, your abilities, and the senses with which you perceive the world. To take someone else's fate: claim fate. If you think your character should die instead of the one currently holding the fate card, say, I claim this fate. If the fated player agrees, take their card. It's your fate now. Swap call sign cards. Your fate card will now apply to them when it later comes up to die. Meet my fate. Instructions for this are on the fate card itself. The only way to die. Always remember, play to lose. Atmospheric silence. Yes, and players are over the game. All right, so let's continue moving on. Table contents. You got the setup, hosting the zone, setting up the cards, play, briefing, all kinds of stuff you got to do there. Part 3, facilitation. Part 4 is solo play. So it looks like you got 50 pages of rules here. Welcome, operative. The Zone is a game where you'll tell a weird, magical, a horror story of mutation and self-discovery. A story about people who risk everything for an obsession, where only one character will make it to the end. This experience is for players who want to share the spotlight, supported by decks of cards that mutate into a fresh combination of senses, or a fresh combination of scenes, locations, and characters every time you pull them out of the box. May your expeditions be weird, wonderful, and most of all, I do like the artwork, I gotta tell you that. So let's continue on. Again, I'm not gonna get too much into this. The setup, different types of cards you got there, archetyped. You have the motivation, call sign, scene, not so easy, fate cards, location, special locations, and endgame. So this RPG is 100% card driven, which seems interesting. So you got lighting, music, props. Setting up the cards. So that's the way the cards are set up for 2 to 5 players. There you go. So you need a facilitator. Play, pitch the zone, and beginning. So we got briefings. Zone is a game of collaborative storytelling. What does that mean exactly? We're telling a movie together. We will take turns being the director. We will win by playing to lose. The X card, yes, and atmospheric silence. Players are more important than the game. We read that already. Exercise, movie rating. Observation facility, Act 2, Act 1, the center. Again, I'm not going to go through this whole book here, but you see it gives you, let's find out what brought the 14th expedition together, give a backstory, what makes a great character. Okay. Again, collaborative storytelling, end scene, where everyone has shared rumors, setting up scenes, how to play scenes, key moves, take stock, something's not right, not so easy, and mutation. There you go. Mutation. The creative heart of the game is characters horribly mutating as they try to do things that are not so easy. Mutation. There you go. Fate cards. How do you die? Claiming someone else's fate. What do fate cards do? Explanation of all that stuff. Again, the artwork in here is just fantastic. Facilitation. Some more artwork. Bringing characters from other games and worlds. Character sheets. Convention play. Playing online. Making your own zone. And then, of course, at the end, you've got solo play, which sets it all up here. And the end game epilogue, scene template, where to get their motivations from, and what were they inspired by. Very cool. Credits and acknowledgements. All right, so there you got. So for more information, you can go to raf@laughingkaju.com. All right, there you go. So that's your manual of how to play the game. Now, again, you got the book A Twist, which I don't want to give too much away, but in here, it's all stuff you have to read. Okay. A Nightmarish Exchange. Different briefings. Okay, different missions that you're going to go into. Okay, so you got, all right, so the first one is the easiest one. It tells you right there. It's a nightmare Nightmares Exchange. So it tells you up here, complexity is 1. Gives you a whole background story. What's different about the setup, what's different in play, end game, the tables that you have to use for the game. Okay, then you have the glitch. Again, set up the same way. A zoo, both dangerous and lovely. Again, the artwork on all these are fantastic. Really dig the artwork in here. Very cool. So that's a zoo, both dangerous and lovely. Again, the setup details. Wow, look at that. This is Exodus, another one. Complexity level is getting harder, so it's level 2 now. Another one here. Fall into Lust. Then we have here, Explore a Fleshy Pit, which is, the title of this one is Alive. So the pit's alive in the zone. Complexity is 1 on that one there. All right. Shelly Instinct. Not sure what it is. 12. Not sure what that is. Complexity is 1. Again, location descriptions. The next one here. Indoors. This one's called. Complexity is 1. It says no clip into an architectural nightmare. Okay. Mycelium Rise is this adventure. Complexity 2. Escape the Black Mold. Atramentum, Exploring Darkness. Then you have Fathian Station. Again, that's complexity 3, so it's more of a complex one there. Wow, okay. Way to set the cards. Then we have Zion 1898, complexity 3 again. Very cool artwork. Again, how it's set up. Then we have Reversion. Go and set up, and it says here, Zone of Healing Integration by Ralph D'Amico. I'm going to read back what it says here. Integration by Ralph D'Amico, a micro twist. This is a twist for many players. The same briefing as a regular game, but you all play the same character together. Pick one shared archetype and one obsession. Each pick a different phobia. You will play that part of the character. There are no bad parts. Meeting your fate becomes integrating your phobia. Integrating your phobia. The part of you holding the phobia dies. You are freed from it, healed just a little bit. Enter the center with one phobia and one obsession. Will you transcend that final fear? Make your wish. There you go. So that is your Book of Twists there. So that's your game. That's your, whatchamacallit, those are your various different adventures you're going to be going on. Then you've got your Book of Mutation. Journal of Dr. Julius Sorbin. Manifestation. The zone changes your body's form. It tells you where in your body part is going to be affected. That tells you how you're going to add to it, multiply it. All right, so look here. Body part, eyes, back, iris, spine, joints, bones, muscles, nerves, ears, nose, mouth. So you got a whole bunch of choices from that one. Over here, you've got destroyed, damaged, corrupted, separated, removed, added to, multiplied, expanded. Does it ever stop? Okay. Living materials, antlers, wings, hooves, claws, fauna, flora, entomologic, non-living materials, plasma, gold, silver, fool's gold, element, elemental, synthetic, lies, look in your fridge, electromagnetic, spectral, mycological, how to communicate, okay, with who or what, mode of communication, sensorium, or I should say sensorium, so what's being changed about it? Interesting. Authority, the zone changes the way you bend the world, manipulating the world itself. That's pretty cool. Levels of control. Mutation compendium. So it's basically 100 different ways you could change the world. Let's just take a look at number 100. It says, perfection. All mutations disappear, not to mention any, and then progressively anything that would take away from the only true perfection, the platonic solids. Step by step, the zone, any part of you that makes you less than perfect. What does it feel like to finally have no flaws? Combined from any 3 sections. These for your anomalies and mutation names. So it gives you an explanation all about mutations, where in the body it's affected, and the attributes. That's interesting. So there's your 3 books, your manual, the book of twists, and mutation. These are the adventures you're going to go on. These are the mutations that happen to your body and to your mind. And this, and also the world that surrounds you. And this is the rules of how to play the game and how to set up the game. So that's very, very cool. Then inside the box, again, the box is extremely heavy. You get 4 decks of cards. That's very cool. So I'm going to start with this one here. And I picked this up on a whim. It seems unlike any other RPG that I've played before, which is very cool because it looks like it's, to me, based on what I read there, that everyone can play the same character if you want to. So this here, for FBC eyes only. Let's see what it says on there. It says, thank you for getting the zone. A game is nothing without its players. I hope that you have a great weird time with it. If you want to share your stories afterwards, I'd love to hear them. Thanks again, Raf. Quick rules overview. All right. So some of these cards are not the same. So let me see what we got here. AD. It looks like this might be cards for. Okay, so let's take a look at this. What we got here, cards says. Okay, take stock, something's not right. All right, this is how you play the game, right? Take stock, something's not right. It's not so easy. Mutation, claim fate, meet my fate. Okay, Babel. Chulak, these may be the characters. Demios. Uslid. Fox. Yeah, I think those are your characters. These are locations. Look at that. Look at how beautiful those cards are. They're reflective on it. It says location. It says observation facility, special. It says on the back. It gives you all the special things about it. I'm not going to read all that. Boundary. It's another special location. Campfire. Special Center 1. Special Center 2. This says here, Endgame 1-4, The Wish. Again, I don't want to ruin anything. So Endgame 2-4, Not So Easy. So these are the cards that you're going to pull. The Wish, Not So Easy, right? The challenges that you're going to face, right? Not So Easy. Then here it says Endgame Final Judgment, Endgame Epilogue, which I don't want to read any of those. And then you have different locations. So let's flip one of these locations, see what it says here. It says forest outskirts, impossible rainforest deep with every shade of green, iridescent with eye-popping colorful species that should not exist in this climate. Golden light permeates this ethereal birch forest. All whites and bright red fall foliage, shimmering dust seems to follow. Thick undergrowth, gnarled root systems, and bulging mushrooms laced trunks loom maze-like glinting eyes watch from burrows. Okay, so I guess you choose which one you want to do. So you got the forest, caverns, swamp, theme park, the mansion, the prison, the village, the farm. So obviously these are all different locations that you can start at. You've got the cemetery, the factory, power plant, military base, the lab, the suburbs, the school, the hospital, the mall, the library, the subway, the sewers, bureau, the blocks, the office, the museum, the zoo, the theater, the highway, the eatery, the hallway, the stairs, the basement, the bedroom, the kitchen, the laundry, the cold room, the tunnel, the attic, the empty room, the den, the bathroom, the studio, the dining room, the dark, the monolith, the solace, the airlock, the destroyed corridor, the hangar bay, the spacewalk. So on the bottom here, it's also telling me, I guess, the type of event you want to do. So if you look at that, it says there, it says you want to do it inside a place, or you want to do it outside in the solar system somewhere, cosmic, the medical suite, cosmic, the promenade, cosmic. It says the archive, the command module, the workshop, cosmic. So these are different locations that you want to play depending on the scenario that you want to play. So again, as it's saying here, so this could be in the outskirts of an area, right? Metro meaning inside a city, small town. Most likely a city though if you got metro. So hospital, you have the mall. Then you also have the indoors, like I said, the hallway, the stairs, right? Then here is that if you want to do it in outer space, we're going to talk about the dark, the monolith, the solace, the airlock. So different locations you can go into. All right, so that's the first deck of cards we have here. And that's just for FBC eyes only. Now again, how to use these cards in the game. Look at your manual and your rule book. It tells you how to set up what cards you need per game that you're going to play. Okay, so you have, these are your scene cards. Start scene 1, the observation facility. Let's see what that says. Night before, everyone shares rumors. What strange animals or plants have been spotted? What weird anomalous artifacts are people talking about? What's rumored about the previous expeditions? Boundaries. Then you have a whole bunch of ones that are like this. Now, I'm not going to ruin this and read all of these, but I'm just going to show you some of them. So anomaly. All right, anomaly. Okay, so you got these scenes are in different types. So you have anomaly. Anomaly requires everyone in the expedition to sacrifice something. Okay, realize that you're having an unexpected impact on your surroundings. It's the anomaly. Don't want to read too many of them because I don't want to ruin anything. Someone strays because of an anomaly. Someone discovers an anomaly and tries to hide it from the other. Now, something happens. Again, this is scene. Something happens to one of the characters. Someone tries to break away on their own. Someone tries to hide a physical mutation that threatens everyone. There's betrayal. So you see that. That's our characters. Then we have our We have our scenes for your encounters. You'll discover that you're being followed. You meet a creature that shares someone's obsession. Take a very risky shortcut. And that's your encounters. So encounter deck. Okay. Okay. So those are your scene setups. Now, according to what we're reading in the rules, the only way you can die is through the hands of the fate deck. Okay, so we got tutorial. So it says here, Fate Tutorial 1, Claiming Fate. If you think your character should die, instead of the one currently holding the fate card, say, I claim this fate. If the fated player agrees, take their fate card. It applies to you now. Swap call sign cards so their fate applies to you when it later comes up. The same fate can be claimed repeatedly. Okay, it says, place under the first fate card. The player who draws the first fate reads this card out loud. Okay. And this is tutorial part 2. What happens after death? As first player to die, get a not so easy card. After a character dies, their player continues taking turns as director and using all the moves, but are now representing the zone itself. Focus on creating weird, magical, and horrible situations for their survivors. Bring to life their obsessions and phobias. So again, you have all kinds of fate cards here. You have an X card, and then you have your not so easy cards. All right, so hold on. So fate says call fox meets their fate. Call sign Ulysses. Okay, so this is the death of the different characters you could have. That's their death cards, basically. X here, this says X card. Let's try a different way. Something just happened that didn't work for you. That's no problem. Let your fellow players know what you'd like to change, rewind, or just before, and keep going. No explanation is needed, but you can discuss if you like. Okay. Then you have your not so easy cards. They'll all look this way. Okay. Yes, and the zone helps you remember something that puts your obsession in a new light. What is it? So, your yes, and you have your mutation. This, it doesn't say what it's for. So that says yes, but it isn't something you can do alone. Help is needed from the other characters or from a local. Okay. Mutation, yes, but the zone mutates you in a way that forces you to confront your obsession. Again, mutation. No, but. Your failure brings you closer to another character. If you were the last alive, describe a flashback or an apparition. Okay, mutation. No, and the zone mutates you, causing an extreme loss of humanity. The zone mutates you in a way that triggers someone else's phobia. If no one else is left, it triggers yours. All right, so these are your fate cards. And those are your tutorial cards right there. So those are fate cards right there. And last but not least, you have these cards here, which are your mutation cards, it looks like. So let's see what we got here. Wow, okay. So we've got all different kinds of cards here. All right, so let's take a little bit at a time. So we're gonna start with the full color ones first. Man, these are absolutely stunning, these cards. Okay. So these look like mutation cards. Look at how beautiful these cards are. The scientist. Just flip it over for a second. It says the scientist, understand and explain the zone. Core archetype. You're a distinguished scientist responsible for a number of key breakthroughs in your prolific early career, but you followed your theories to a more creative fringes, and the academic field you once dominated has now rejected you as a fraud and a huckster. Come up with theories, try to understand and explain, take samples, lots of samples. Okay, so that's the archetype you're going to be playing. The scientist, the soldier, the writer, the entrepreneur, the chaplain, the bureaucrat, the surgeon, the political officer, the criminal, the adventurer, the athlete, the actor, the detective, the engineer, the artist, the linguist, the architect, the filmmaker, the exterminator, the auteur, the thrill seeker, the cultist, the cat, and the pilot. Yeah. So it tells you a little about each of those characters, but the artwork on these are just stunning, and they're obviously they're reflective, but and if you can't really make it out so much in the camera because of the light that's showing on them, giving off the reflective traits on them. Full color, absolutely stunning these cards are. Okay, so that's just some there. Then we have a bunch of what we call motivation cards. So we got a bunch of these. So it says integrity. So let's flip that over to what it says. Obsession. Remember who you used to be. Find your old self and the hunger that got you there. All right. And it says sellout. What if the haters are right? All right. So there is your obsession, and there's your phobia. Integrity, status, blaze trails, attachment, structure, progress, others, sights, longevity, ideal self, light, greed, the experiment, control, knowledge, comfort, God, faith. Let's see what this one says. Obsession, prove science wrong if only they could see the divine plan as you do. Phobia, the wrong plan. There is a plan, but you follow the wrong one. Okay. So these look like the phobias. Yep, it's your obsession and your phobias. This has really gotten me very, very interested in playing this game. I must be very honest with you. This is really, really cool. Violence, absolution, purity, transcend yourself, your partner, truth, legacy, future shock. Let's see what future shock says. Obsession, singularity. It will solve everything. Humanity is just a stepping stone. Flipping that over. Phobia, humanity left behind. Will your technological creations remake a new world without you? Feel special. Reclaim power. Conflict. Substance. Family. Connection. Explanation. Voice. Advancement. See what you did. Healing. The vast unknown. Valor. Orders. Steady hand. Do no harm. Limitless. Panache. Use. D. Fitzbaker. See what that says. D. Fitzbaker. Obsession. The front page. A front page story no one can beat. Not even that damn Fitzbaker. Phobia. Being scooped again. How does that Pulitzer bastard always get the drop on you? Orientation and love. Looks like these could be for each of the different adventures which are in this book here, the Book of Twists. So it looks like some of the artwork from those, from each of those pictures that we saw earlier that were in the twist. So I'm not sure though, but that's your motivation cards as well. So this is going to be interesting to try this out for the first time. This looks like it could be a rather enjoyable experiment into a really unique experience, and that's what I was looking for when I picked this up. Again, I did not back the Kickstarter, but this is everything that was included in it. So this is everything that's included in the base course set of The Zone, the Surreal Play to Lose Horror RPG. So this is everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing of Ralph D'Amico's The Zone, Surreal Play to Lose Horror RPG. As always, thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed it, you can always give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below. You can also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Be safe, be well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.